Hi, I'm Captain Kanan, and I've sailed on container ships the last 20, 30 years. And during my stay on board ships, I had an opportunity to take time out to write about various certificates and documents that are to be carried on board ships based on the existing infrastructure. So, yeah. Before I go into the detailing what certificates and documents that are to be placed on board, I would like to elaborate a few on the regulations that are involved that make sure these certificates are provided on board and they are regularly the surveys are undertaken to keep the certificates updated and the vessel flies without any trouble worldwide. Yeah, but to go into that first, we all know IMO, our governing body of the United Nations, controls all our shipping activities with regulations and rules, and they also help us in running safely from A to B. Okay, so but who you all would have seen on board the certificates file. Often it is brought down for authorities, for PSC inspections, or for the survey works. It's always there in with the master. There could be one or two files, one file containing everything, or two files, one with statutory certificates and the other with other training certificates, etc. Now, um, how do we came about? Who tells that these are the certificates to be carried on board? Well, like any other circulars of the IMO body. So we have Maritime Safety Committee, Maritime Environment and Protection Committee circular detailing the certificates to be held on board merchant ships. So it is a proper document as approved by these safety committees, including the Facilitation Convention, and it is promulgated. It's approved when the safety committee of all these things, MEPC or MSC or FAL or legal committee, they're all part of the IMO body, and they're all they all have dignitaries, signatory dignitaries from all over the maritime world, and they enact. They are approved committee by the IMO. So they enacted means it becomes it is enforceable, and that is what we must comply with. So this is the one such document I would like to show that is approved by the Maritime Safety Committee, MEPC, MSC, and the FAL Convention is a list of certificates, as I mentioned, list of certificates and documents to be required to be carried on board vessels. So this is the one that is promulgated by the IMO. Now, we don't get to see all the MSc or MEPC or fall convention certificates on a regular basis on board. We don't have the time also on container ships. So, where do we find this? So, the answer is you have this circular as Solus Solus part of the Solus. Where do we have? Let me see here. So we have this as a Solus Annex 1 in Solus. Okay. Solus is our guiding book for our safety of life at sea, as you all know very well. And Marpol also has got the same MEPC MSc circular. Uh, this one MEPC MSc circular that is in Marpol too. So this is a very important document that one must know, and exactly we must have. Okay, beyond this, we have many other certificates that I will come to it later. But this is the certificates that are required by IMO, promulgated by IMO under the IMO conventions. So we have many conventions under IMO, right? So let us understand before I go into all these certificates, flag state, and everything. Let us understand. the principle behind the United Nations. United Nations have got all the special agencies, like called the IMO, ILO, WHO. Now that's related, that we know. So, but there are a lot of other things, 15 or 17 of them, catering to the whole world community for the smooth, cooperation and well-being of the countries together. We enforced by the countries. So some of the more familiar ones are WWF, World Wildlife Fund, and then World Bank and Food and Agricultural Organization, UNCTAD, UNESCO, you name it. So there are a lot of other things. So IMO is one of them. So IMO is a convention as a special agency of the United Nations. Now, on the IMO, there are many conventions that are that have come into force, that are enacted, agreed upon by the contracting governments. So I don't want to go into details of how the conventions come into force, like the percentage of the tonnage of the world fleet or the maritime countries put together. So that all you would have gone through during your various onshore courses and training programs. So it's suffice to say, I want to concentrate on the conventions as we call. So like what? So the prime and foremost one is the SOLAS Convention. Then you have Load Line Convention, MARPOL Convention, and you have STCW, MLC, you have tonnage, you have anti-fouling system, bunker convention, wreck removal, ballast water convention, a CSE convention, Colrec convention. Yeah, so these are all the conventions under IMO. So they are the conventions that are adopted by the IMO as ratified by the contracting governments. So they are enforced, and we need to comply with that under conventions. So now we will look into each convention that is applicable more to container ships, because I have served on container ships the last 20, 30 years before my retirement. So the certificates that are required by these conventions, what are the documents that are required, based as our MEPC circular, MSC circular that I showed you as a guideline. We'll go one by one as per that. Um, Before we do that, there are certain um, the certificates are issued by people, right? Right, organizations. So let's look into that. Yeah, it's somewhat diverting, and then to make you understand. So that is a linkage between who issues the certificate, and then who are the people behind it. Now, all these solas and MARPOL, they talk about in their preamble of the general section about the organization. Organization is nothing like, organization, as I told you, is about IMO, ILO, and WHO as far as we are concerned. Yeah, there are many more under the United Nations. Yeah. Then they talk about administration. See, they say administration is all in all, and they are responsible for the issuance of this or that certificate. What is an administration? Exactly, verbatim has written in Solis. It's the government of the state whose flag the ship is entitled to fly. It's nothing but the flag state. Whenever they say administration, it is the flag state. If in the certificate heading it says on behalf of administration, so on, so the certificate is issued on behalf of this administration, means that is the flag state of the ship that is entitled to fly. So the administration is the flag state. Then they talk, about contracting governments. It's all the governments which are signatories to IMO Convention. Then they talk about recognized organization. So these are all the terms that we need not worry about this. Just to brief you, so that there is some understanding of how the certificates came about, issued about, and then how we take care of them all. Yeah. What is recognized organization? Recognized organization, as per as per as per the SOLAS or other convention, is an organization as recognized by the administration. Simple. It's a very simple answer. There is no technicalities involved in that. It has recognized by the administration. So, what are these recognized organizations? Mostly, as far as the administration is concerned, administration is a flag state. Flag state doesn't have the full expertise or the resources to go and be there for every ship, to attend the ship surveys, to attend to shipbuilding inspections, and to issue the certificates. They are not there. So they depend on this recognized organization. And who are the recognized organization? Everybody knows it's the class societies. Certificate of class. Oh, I'm not talking about certificate of class. Sorry, it is the class societies. Class societies are what? Class societies are classification societies who come under the IACS body, International Association of Classification Society, as recognized by this administration. That is the flag state. So there is an agreement between the flag state and the class society that they have to abide by some of the same MSc circular of IMO. There has to be an agreement. There's also a class society. Okay, the class society should have the expertise or the knowledge to deal with various types of ships. So we are talking about container ships. Whether we are, colleagues, all of you would have served on different kinds, LPGs, LNGs, car carriers, and bulk carriers, forest product ships. So this class societies have got this expertise, extensive knowledge of all these things, and these class societies have to abide by a code. We have under Solus various codes, LSA code, FFA code, uh, IGS code. Yeah. Likewise, there is a code by IMO as promulgated by a circular that the class societies to abide by that. They must have that expertise. No doubt, over a period of time, class societies have obtained enormous knowledge and database that all one has to do is now, I want a container ship of 330 meters or 400 meters long, and tell them, specify them. I want to a draft. I've analyzed various deep water ports. I want to be a draft of 15.5 meters. Choose any class society under IACS, and they will give you everything: the plan, the specifications, the way to go about it. Everything is there. They have so much expertise. So the class has to comply with a certain thing. So it is a binding on the class and the recognized organization, that is the flag society. And the flag society is specifically mentioned as an organization, as an administration in Solus as well as Marpol in all the other conventions. So that is where the link comes, that class societies or they've got the knowledge, they go for this one, and they are the recognized organization by the flag society. They go on board. They are there at the shipyard right from the stage one, after having given them the company, the drawings, the shipyard, the drawings. They are there from the day one of keel laying. They make sure everything is up to standards, and the build is structurally built to the requirements of the class society, which is recognized by the administration as wanted by Solus or Marpol or other conventions. Okay, so that is the link. Okay, recognized organization by the class society is only the class. I mean, by the flag state, is it only the class? It need not be the class. I mean, 99%, 95% it is a class, but in one of case it can be different also, because it has to be recognized by the administration. So, like for instance, you have the LRIT certificate on board. So, in all probability, most of the cases, LRIT is issued by a satellite company like Polestar of UK or any other one, based on the LRIT that is fixed on board, its specifications, its standards, and its testing on board with the vessel transmission and reception, that it works properly and that it complies with the standards as required by the IMO, MEPC, MSc circular. So LRIT is issued by a recognized organization, which in this case is not a class society. That is why. But most of the time, Whatever you have, everything is issued by the class society, and that is where this one. But on behalf of the administration, and who is the administration? Is a flag state. Flag state is number one. So to get on with our topic of certificates on board container ships, let us take SOLAS convention first. So, and before going into the convention and what certificates are there as required by SOLAS, this IMO circular, which is part of the SOLAS Annex 1, yeah, and it starts with applicable to all ships, yeah, and in this last column, there is it's not alone applicable to SOLAS convention. It talks about all the certificates on board. So the ship has to comply with so many conventions, as I talked before. So, but we will start with SOLAS convention, and we'll deal with only SOLAS related certificates as mentioned here. SOLAS, yeah. So we have in this page also SOLAS related certificates, yeah. SOLAS. So we'll talk about the SOLAS related certificates, but SOLAS, okay. This is most of you all know, and just to um, brief to let know the cadets maybe. So SOLAS, the full form is Safety of Life at Sea. It's a convention by IMO. Why it came into force, how it came into force, it's there and you would have known, or you can go into Google it and then find out, and that is okay. But why should they name us SOLAS instead of, they could have named us, say, why did they name us Safety of Life at Sea? They could have named us Safety of Ship at Sea or Safety of Cargo at Sea. They didn't do that. So they put Safety of Life at Sea because when you link the safety of life, when the ship is at sea, everything else is taken care of. How? First, you have a ship, and then you have firefighting systems, life-saving system. Not alone that. What is the meant ship is supposed to carry people on board? That is okay. Then the ship is meant to carry cargo. So the SOLAS talks about cargo, the way it is to be stowed, the way it is to be carried, the way it is to be lashed, the way it is to be dealt with when before receiving and after receiving for the safe carriage until it is delivered in the same order. Okay, so about the machinery. So maintenance of the machinery, you have to maintain the machinery as per SOLAS. Yeah, only then the machinery will stand good stead when you're out at sea, and then you can safely sail from A to B. So that's why they named it as SOLAS. So what is SOLAS? So clear for Life at Sea, and what has it got? It's got, I think, 14 chapters. So we will talk in the next session about SOLAS, the chapters, a brief introduction of the chapters. I'm not going to go deep into it. Yeah. So how to understand SOLAS? And if you see the structure of SOLAS, it just starts with general. Okay. So what do you want to have in a ship? Okay. Let's take basic thing. So ship is a metal structure. So you must have a metal structure which should be able to float first. So SOLAS in chapter 2, it talks about structural strength, the subdivision, the stability of the ship. Yeah. Okay. It can float now. Then you have how will it go from A to B? It has to have some machinery and electrical equipment. So when you get machinery and electrical equipment, you have see what the machineries you have put, and then you have to have electrical equipment. And when you have such a thing, machinery beyond fuel, you have to protect it against the fire. So protection against the fire comes the next. Then after you do that, so what do? You are carrying people on board. So you have to have fire protection you have given. You have to protect against for the safety of the people on board. That's the life saving and firefighting appliances you put on board. Yeah. After that, one comes after the other, one after the other next. So after that, you have put on board, you have this one, and then you provide radio communication for distress alerts. So for the safety again, you must be able to call assistance, call for assistance, and then or you must be able to send out distress signal so that people come and rescue you or come for your help. Yeah, so that is that. Then safety of navigation. So you put navigation equipment. Okay, So after that, the navigation equipments come. Yeah. After that, only after putting the navigation equipment, after safety of cargo carriage, how to carry cargo, and then dangerous cargo, and then the type of ships if you are a nuclear ship, and then the management of ships, and then the control of ships are for ISPS. Then you have specific uh, ships called um, on and on wing on mode, and then nuclear ships, another thing, and then polar. Yeah. So likewise, it's very simple. If you have the concept of um, go through this one, you can identify, you can clearly, easily remember the chapters. I mean, one doesn't have to by heart these things. Okay. Thank you for viewing this episode. We will continue with the ships certificates and documents in our next program. My name is Captain Mupali Kannan, and I would love you to share this to your colleagues, to your friends in our merchant field, and get back to me if I can be of any help to clarify whatever I've said. This is all my interpretation. Maybe it is there are some miss outs here and there, but please bear with me. I would like to share my write up. This got many pages, and we'll go through this one by one. Thank you for viewing this. Bye bye, and safe sailing as always. And if you are ashore, happy holidays.